You know what? I'm 1 minute early, but please don't hold it against me. I have been sat here in my new studio space for the past half an hour, meddling around on my laptop, and I thought I'm just going to have to go live early. I can't wait because it's Pop Astro Live. It's a Friday night special, so we'll play the countdown music while everybody joins and shares right now. If you're watching this, please start sharing it. Just hit the share button, no matter what platform you are on. It helps spread the word of the SPA immensely. Yowza. And how are yowza? Good evening. It's Pop Astro Live, Friday the 6th of August. It's 8 p.m. It's a Perseids special. And welcome. If you're new to the society or you're thinking about joining or you've never seen this broadcast before, it's about 90 minutes of wonderful, easygoing, happy astronomy chat. And the Society for Popular Astronomy is the society for stargazers of all levels. Some may be 6'8", others may be just 2 foot tall, little kids smiling at the moon and looking at Saturn. When we say we are the Astronomy Society for all levels, we mean everybody, right from the very short, right up to the very tall, and all levels of ability as well. You are all welcome. And please, if you're watching this and it's your third time of watching it, it would be fantastic if you were to join the SPA. It is amazing value. In fact, I can tell you how much it costs because it scrolls across on my banner. It's £23 a year. You get the magazine, you get access to our meetings, and you get to keep Cosmo here. You've slumped Cosmo. Come back up in Virgin Galactic tickets, which have just doubled in price. They're nearly £500,000 now. So it's very expensive to keep Cosmo in Virgin Galactic tickets. The comments are already flooding in. I have a notification on the screen that says 5 comments already. Oh, wow, loads. Let's have a look. Good evening, everybody. Looking forward to the talks. Are you looking forward to this one, Adrian? One of our lovely regulars. Colin Pryor says 2 McIntyres for the price of 1. I know. What's the chance? As long as Michael McIntyre doesn't come as well. Otherwise, that'd be 3 for 1. And he's the most expensive comedian in the world. So I don't think we're going to be getting him tonight. Hi, the beautiful Sandra Grace. Paul Sutherland, pithy comments. Hello, Paul. We have missed you. Where have you been all these weeks, Paul? We have missed you. Evening, Madeline Duns, pussycat lady with the pussycat face. Hi, Ian and friends. And Kathy and the Ragdolls. Kathy and the Ragtime Ragdolls. Okay, good stuff. Okay. Plug the mug. Oh, that's the wrong key, isn't it? Plug the mug, plug the mug, plug the mug, plug the mug, plug the mug. Guess what's in the mug tonight, everybody? You won't believe it. You can't see it. It's mine. I've got in the mug tonight one of Saturn's rings. And I can't let you see it at the minute. It's melted down quite considerably into just like a bit of a mucky water. But it did used to be one of Saturn's rings. We'll be sharing that and taste testing it later on. Me and Cosmo will be having a little sip. Do you want a little sip now? Drink a bit of Saturn's ring, Cosmo. Very good. Very good. Okay. The Pop Astro website, popastro.com, is a fantastic resource for all of the popular astronomers out there. I've just had a quick glance through it, and right there on the front pages, we have got the latest up-to-date news, such as the night sky in August, Robin's diligent guide and video, and also choosing the correct telescope for your needs. And it's also home of our merchandise, which I am sporting quite beautifully right now. This is a sundial necklace, which I tested the other day, and it is to the minute accurate. I swear to God, you can tell whether it's 5 or 10 past just from lining up the little dot and the sunshine. Did he catch any meteorites? Yes, because he's nearly had no teeth left. He had to have some emergency dental surgery. He caught 3 Perseids in his teeth before making his way back down from 60 miles high. Good evening, Bob Jessamine, the man with stars for his face. Karen Griffiths, hello. Hi. John Spink, welcome to Pop Astro Live. This is our weekly show. We're usually on a Thursday, although I've got news for you, Pop Astros. Might not be on a Thursday anymore. Might have to think of a new night. I'm not so sure about Fridays because the kids are here eating all the bandwidth on the holiday park where I have chosen to live at the minute. Might have to be a Tuesday or a Monday because, do you know why? The pub quiz has started up again on Thursdays and it's the only social contact I get living in a seaside resort. So our fantastic pub quiz is going to be battling out on Thursday nights. Let's see. The SP8 magazine is a bargain at twice the price. Bob, it really is, and it's all voluntary. We are looking for an editor and people to help with our social media and behind the scenes as well. Have I got the magazine here? I've tidied up my office. I haven't got it. But the magazine is a brilliantly compiled compendium of everything that's happening in the sky from the very near to the very far away. Good evening from an all-week online test conference. What's test conference? Do let me know. Very good. Thank you for all these lovely comments. And John, please do come back. We love you already. And if you're not a member, please consider joining the SPA. That would be great. Okay, so we are now gearing up. I've got a new chair. I can sit back. I'm usually on a blimmin' hard, high stool. And I'm on a, what do you call it? Patio furniture tonight, but it's because we live in a holiday lodge, we can only have really light furniture, so big heavy office chairs are a no-go. This thing will blow away in the wind, but it's nice and safe in here and it's very comfortable. And we've cleared out the room. There's a mountain of rubble in the lounge, but now I have got a nice look at this. It's like no junk in here. Clean mind, excellent broadcast. That's what the BBC say. Anyway, hello, but please don't talk about teeth. I have a loose implant. Gwyneth. Don't try catching any meteors tonight, my love. That is very, very, very relevant medical advice to you. Okay. So on tonight's show, we have got husband and wife duo, Mary and Mark McIntyre. Mark is our meteor section director, and we'll be focusing on how to observe the Perseids and the technicalities of these fast-moving streaks of, wow, did you see that? Such as speed, height, and colour composition. Mary goes for the more artistic side. You're telling me, love, I still treasure in my crater she taught me how to draw, with amazing pictures and how to shoot on your phone and DSLR. And of course, I am backed up by the all-star, all-girl crew of Sonia and Eleni. And I just don't think that there's anywhere else in space and science broadcasting where you will find 3 female presenters without any blurks. So I love that. I'm going to start the striptease early. Already getting quite warm. There we go. Have you ever played strip astronomy before? We'll play it tonight. And Cosmo will be around later with Where Has He Been To? He's been somewhere very fast moving this week. Very fast moving indeed. Okay, so, hi, Eleni. She's just messaged me. We've got private backstage messages that you are not privy to. Do you want me to tell you what Eleni's put? She's put, hello, with a little smiley emoticon, which is very cute. Okay, we're now going to go. Hi, Eleni. I can see her laughing down in the green room. I'm going to get her on. Eleni, 3, 2, 1. You coming on? Are you getting?
Hi, everyone.
Hi. I got you on early.
That's okay. I just can't stop laughing when I know I've said something silly because it's exciting. Hello. And I thought, since nobody can see me, I can be silly in the background.
And Mark's put a smiley face in as well. Eleni will be with you in about half an hour, so see you shortly.
See you
Bye.
guys.
I do love that girl. Okay, we're going to go over to Mark McIntyre in just a moment. Jed says hi. Oh, wow. So this is what John's been up to. This font is minuscule on my screen. Just bear with me while I squint. The Transiting Exoplanet Survey Satellite is a space telescope for NASA's Explorers program designed to search for exoplanets using the transit method in an area 400 times larger than that covered by the Kepler mission. You are going to find a lot of exoplanets because Kepler was as regular as clockwork, really, wasn't it? I used to have a Kepler fridge magnet. I'm really gutted that it's disappeared. It was the most esoteric fridge magnet in history. Okay. And of course, Sunshine Sonia, is she going to have good news? Is she going to have bad news? I'd say it's 90-10 bad news with Sonia's weather forecast ever since she started forecasting for us. Right, we're going to go over to Mark McIntyre. Here he comes. 3, 2, 1. It's like a gotcha. Do you remember them? Mark!
Hi there, Vicky. How are you?
It's been a while since we've met each other at a conference, isn't it?
It has. It's been a long time. Yeah, a couple of years at least.
Mary said you were looking cute with your long hair and your round glasses.
Well, I've got it in a ponytail to keep it out of the way at the moment. So.
It's longer than mine. You're doing well. So, Mark, tell us about your work with the SPA. That'd be lovely.
Well, the meteor section director. So, I guess the two things that I'm doing are I am providing information for you guys as to what's coming up in the next few months, and I'm also providing reports for the magazine and for the website, covering what people have told us that they've seen. So I'm always looking for people to comment on their observations, send me in what they've seen in the sky, ask me questions about something they've seen that maybe they couldn't identify, see if I can help them, particularly if there's a fireball that somebody's seen, that kind of thing.
That's the important things, really, isn't it, for you? So what kind of things should people be looking out for then at this time of year?
Well, obviously we're in the middle of the Perseids meteor shower, and I guess that's the main thing that we've got going on. It actually started about 2 weeks ago. It starts about the 17th of July, something like that. It starts. The peak is on the 12th, 13th. And then it runs on for about another week or so after that. But as I said, the peak's on the 12th, 13th. That's going to be the night that we're going to get the most activity. Although we will get a bit of activity, the nights either side of that as well. So don't, if the weather's bad on the 12th, 13th, don't worry. You can go out in the nights before or the nights afterwards, and you should see plenty as well.
Yes, because I was chatting with Mary yesterday, and she said activity's really ramping up at the minute.
Absolutely is. I mean, I'm part of the UK Meteor Network with video camera detection systems, and we're picking up, dozens a night already of Perseids. I think we had about 100 the other night already. Now it's a big network of cameras. We're looking across the whole UK, but already those numbers are really ramping up, which is fantastic. And we're really excited to see how many we get on the cameras, on the peak this year.
Right. Okay. Have you actually seen any then yet this year?
Well, yeah. No. Because I've got all the cameras I'm looking after, I tend not to be out and about at night as much as I used to be. I'm too busy watching all the cameras. So I've seen plenty on the cameras, but I haven't had a chance to go out and look for any myself yet. But if the sky's clear over the next few days, when we're at the peak, I'll definitely be outside in the garden on my deck chair watching.
They're just so exciting. Why are they so exciting? Because really, in theory, they are just little tiny. But why do we all get so hyped up about them? It's like astronomer Christmas, isn't it? The Perseids.
It really is. I mean, I suppose the thing is, when you think about what you're seeing, okay, it's a little piece of rock, but that piece of rock is probably 4.5 billion years old. It's been whizzing around the sun, maybe as part of a comet for some time, and now on its own for a long, long time. And to witness that final moment of its existence as it streaks through the atmosphere and burns up and dumps all its energy and its color and everything into the atmosphere, that's amazing. And particularly if you're with a crowd of friends and you're all watching together, it can be super exciting. As you know, Vicky, when we've been out on a Welsh hillside looking for meteors days gone by.
Sudden big pangs for Solar Sphere down in Bilthwells, which is Pete Williamson's and team, his amazing science, space and music festival. And I think it was the second time we went. We had an amazing showing of the Perseids.
We did, yeah, absolutely. Mary's got some great pictures from that time. But yeah, I mean, I think that's it. It's just the excitement of seeing something like this happen, and particularly when the Perseids are on, because although the zenith hourly rate is quoted as 150 or something like that, you're not going to see that many, but you could still see quite easily, 20 or 30 in an hour. That's one every couple of minutes, and sometimes they come in little clusters, and sometimes they're big fireballs. So you could see a lot. And obviously, if there's 2 or 3 you sat out watching, looking in different directions, you'll get a bit competitive as you spot ones that somebody else missed. Oh, did you see that one? No, I missed it. Did you see this other one? So that can get quite exciting.
So we have got John is saying, have you recorded any Starlink OneWeb satellites on your cameras?
Absolutely have, yes. Quite a lot, actually. Yeah. From the point of view of meteor hunting, the worst thing about them is that they block what meteors might be behind them. So anything that's behind them, you lose. They're not there for very long, obviously, but I've got a couple of images where there's like a whole side of the frame is completely filled with starlinks passing over. I'd like it if there were a lot less, but there are a lot of satellites up in space anyway. One of our cameras picks up maybe 100 a night, not just starlinks, all sorts of satellites.
Wow.
So it gets pretty busy.
Just a quick technical question, actually, Mark, and I will ask the viewers, am I echoing? I've turned my sound down. Let me know if I'm echoing. It has been mentioned, hopefully not.
There was a bit of echo right at the very start, but it's faded now.
Oh, that's lovely. Mark, the SPA is the Society for Astronomers of All Levels. Please start right from basics. What are the Perseids?
Okay, so they're dust left behind by a comet. Normally, I would have a backdrop behind me that shows a comet, but we've all seen what pictures of comets look like. They've got a big dusty tail stretching out to one side of them, and as they go around the solar system, they leave that dust behind them. And because they're going in a fairly regular orbit, the dust builds up in exactly the same place. And if the Earth happens to go through that dust, then it falls into our atmosphere. It's just like kind of walking into a shower of rain, basically. All of a sudden, we've got all this dust falling into the atmosphere. And as it falls into the atmosphere, it heats up. And obviously, they're going pretty fast. They're doing sometimes 60 kilometers a second, which is really fast. And so they get really hot, they burn up, and they give off a lot of light and heat and color that we see as they streak through the sky.
Okay, what color are the Perseids on the whole then?
Well, particularly in photographs, you'll quite often see greenish tinges to them, but greens and oranges are the colors that I've quite often seen, particularly in the tails. And they can look pretty cool, actually.
Really, really beautiful. And different showers have different kind of characteristics. So some can be, the Perseids always seem quite long and graceful to me.
Yeah, I think that they're quite fast moving, but they can also be quite big. So we tend to see more bright events in the Perseids. Some of the other showers, the meteors, are much more slow moving. Sometimes there's a kind of a measure of how many big particles there are and how many small particles. If there's more small particles, you won't see so many bright meteors. And so they'll tend to be short and not so bright. Whereas with something like the Perseids, we get more big particles, so we tend to see more bright ones. And as I said, some are slow moving, some are fast moving, some are intermediate. And there's all kinds of different sorts, really.
Do any of them ever actually land?
Oh, absolutely. I don't think we've ever had a Perseid land, but back in February this year, we had a meteorite land in Gloucestershire, in the UK, which was absolutely amazing. One of my cameras actually picked that up, and many other cameras picked it up too, and that helped track down where it landed. But yeah, we do occasionally. There's been, I think there was the last one before that was about 1954 or something like that. So it's not that common in Britain, but around the world, yeah, there's loads land.
Okay.
I'd like to catch more.
Mark, give us a beginner's guide, a 101 to watching the Perseids over the next couple of days.
Okay, well, the Perseid radiant is in the constellation of Perseus, which is going to be in the east. Now, you might think you want to look at the radiant, but actually you don't. The best direction to look is kind of away from the radiant. Imagine getting the radiant kind of in the corner of your vision. So look away about, off to the north, probably. It'd be darker in the north, probably. So not straight up, Vicky, but off to one side.
All right.
So kind of look off to one side like that. So the radiant's to one side of your eyeball, and then the meteors will be going across in front of you.
Oh, God.
So if you look straight
I
at
did not know that.
If you look straight at the radiant, they're all coming straight toward your eyeball. It's like trying to look at a train that's coming straight towards you. You can't really see it because it's so coming straight at you. But if you look off to one side, you'll see it go across in front of you. So what I do is I sit in a deck chair in the garden because that's great and comfy, and I can lean back. I'm not hurting my neck trying to look up. And I look off to one side, and I kind of just let my eyes get used to the dark and defocus a wee bit, and then I just sit and watch. And if I'm feeling enthusiastic, I'll draw a line on a notepad every time I see one, and I can count up how many I saw at the end of the evening. But the best thing, just get warm and comfy, sit in a deck chair, and watch the sky.
So thank you so much. So tell us a little bit more then. Simon says, thank you for your amazing work and dedication to the UK Meteor Network. Tell us a little bit more about that, please.
So we've got a network of video cameras. There's about 100 now in the network, scattered all over the UK. And they're kind of cheap security cameras, basically. We point them up at the sky, and we've got special software running on Raspberry Pi computers now, which just monitors the video coming from the cameras. And whenever it sees something that looks like it might be a meteor, it saves a short video of it. And then at the end of the night, the software checks all the little clips that it's recorded to see if they really were meteors. And we get an awful lot of birds and bats and moths and aircraft and satellites. So it gets rid of all the junk, and then all that's left, all the things that really are meteors, we upload to some servers, and then we do some kind of special scientific analysis on it. I mean, what we're trying really to do is calculate the orbits and the trajectory so we can work out where they're going to land, if they are going to land, and work out where they came from. So, by analyzing the videos, we can work out what their orbit was, and from their orbit, we can work out which whereabouts in the solar system they came from originally, which is, I think, is pretty exciting.
Okay. I was going to ask you something and I've forgotten now. So just what was I going to ask you? Tell me now. I think this is a nice question. Tell me about the best shooting star you've ever seen, because we've all seen the one, haven't we?
Honestly, it would be the Winchcombe meteorite that we had back in February.
Did you see that with your naked eyes?
I didn't see it with my naked eye, but I saw it on the camera afterward. And with my naked eye, actually, probably one of the ones that we saw in Bilthwells from Solar Sphere about 3 or 4 years ago. There was one that kind of flashed across the hilltop to the north of the campsite. That was pretty amazing. Big and bright and very colourful.
So, I mean, it tends to be quite special when you see one, especially if you're out with friends. It's such a lovely communal activity to do.
Absolutely.
And if you get a clear break in the skies, give us a couple of tips, Mark. The practical, that, like you mentioned the deck chair, that's a great one. What other kind of, how can people make themselves warm and cozy, not too despondent?
Yeah, I sit in a deck chair. I wrap myself up in a warm blanket. I get a thermos flask of tea or a hot chocolate at the ready. And I kind of hunker down. When we were on the hillside in Wales, I seem to remember at one point bringing my sleeping bag out of the tent and wrapping myself up in my sleeping bag. But yeah, just keep warm, because it's going to be chilly even in August in Britain. It's going to be like 12 degrees or something. It's raining out there now. Yeah, just keep warm, and try to keep alert, keep your eyes on the sky. If you do want to make notes, don't use a torch or anything like that. Don't use your phone to keep track of the time or anything, because that'll ruin your night vision. And that's really important, because you want to see the faint meteors. You're going to have to keep your night vision well adapted.
Oh yeah, night vision. Let's talk. How long does it takes a long time for your night vision to get adapted, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's about 20 minutes, I think, to get properly dark adapted. I mean, you'll get fairly dark adapted quite quickly, but that's why you need to not use torches, because if you turn a torch on, that's it. Your night vision's gone for 20 minutes. You'll still see things, obviously, but you'll miss all the faint things.
Do you know what just popped in my head? And I seem to recall hearing a rather loud Scottish voice shouting, "Turn your lights off!" You remember?
That might have been me. Yes, so, that might have been me.
We were at Solar Sphere, and it's obviously a dark sky site. We're in this camping field. And suddenly, there's a car comes on at the top of the hill with its lights on full. Who was it? You remember who it was?
I don't remember. No, I don't remember who it was.
It was Julian Onions.
Oh, so it was, yes.
And I remember, and obviously he didn't do it on purpose. He just said he got in his car and the lights came on and he couldn't switch it off.
Yeah, some modern cars have that, don't they? The lights automatically turn on. But yeah, keep the lights turned off, definitely.
Oh, maybe next year. I can imagine Solar Sphere tickets are probably going to be on sale for next year, don't you reckon, Mark?
I think so. Yeah, I think we'll be back in a cold field in Wales next year.
In that barn.
Yep, absolutely. That'll be good fun.
Lessons and bands and the fancy dress. Popular astronomers, if you've not been to Solar Sphere, right, put it right to the top of your space bucket list. It is supreme.
It's great fun. Yeah.
It's supreme, isn't it? And
really
thank you so much, Mark. Okay, we're going to crack on now. It's been really lovely having you. We're going to get Eleni on in a minute. So thank you so much. Oh, hang on a minute
Nice
now.
to meet you.
Wait a minute. We're going to do the Venn diagram now. We're going to get Mary on. You're both going to overlap for a little bit. Okay. Mary, you ready to come on? 3, 2, 1. Hey.
Hi.
Are you in
That's
the
my
room?
husband.
How far away are you from your husband right now, physically?
About 10 feet.
Next room.
You're just in the next room. Mark, Mary's winning in the lighting and backdrop and makeup contest here.
Yeah, I would normally have had a decent backdrop, but it doesn't seem to want to work on this this display. So hey ho, sorry about that.
Oh yeah, right. Would you? I don't know whether it does the green screen backdrop. This stuff you've got to have like a real cloth one.
Yeah. That's
You'll
what I discovered.
You'll have to get Mary to knit you one. So what's it like then living right? Because basically, it's every girl who's into space's dream that I know to have a space partner, and probably every bloke. I mean, don't you want your partner to have the same space hobby? You two, like Tracy and Jonathan, are living the dream, aren't you?
Definitely. The trouble is, though, there's no one to talk you out of buying new kit because we're
Oh,
generally,
no.
that'd be a good idea. Let's buy it. So it can. It's quite difficult to talk yourselves out of buying stuff.
Yeah,
What kind
don't look at my background. Don't look behind me. There's nothing to see behind me.
But it is really good because one of my friends once said it's a good job your husband's an astronomer because no one else would put up with you. Because quite often he'll wake up at 1:30 in the morning and I'm not here. I'll be in a field somewhere with my camera. But you know, if we're not working the next day, both of us will be doing that, and we get competitive sometimes, but we also really help each other, I think, and do a lot of joint observing, which is really nice.
lonelyastronomers.com. I am available for such. I am available. No, I just think sometimes like how lovely it would be to be able to lie alongside somebody and pillow talk of the depths of the cosmos. That is like what I want. Is that what it's like?
Yes, that's why we're always so tired.
Oh, it's so nice. Oh, bless you, you two, the king and queen of astronomy. It's been lovely. Mary and Mark. Mark, I'm going to ditch you. In fact, I'm going to ditch you both because Eleni's on in a minute, and then I'll come back to you, Mary, if that's okay. Bye. Great. Okay, so we are, let's have a look at the comments. Thank you, everybody, for all your lovely comments. Let's put that on, and it'd be good, actually, popular astronomers, start dropping in the comments what kit you use. It's always nice to be able to share your telescope serial numbers on a live chat show. You can't do that on the Sky at Night, can you? Or on Trisha. Drop in your geek out on your serial numbers of your scopes and your sizes. That'd be lovely. Right. Okay. What's it saying in the comments? Wasn't that a really good talk? That was so lovely, wasn't it? The astronomy partner. Oh, I won't put that comment on. That would be great. Thank you, John. That was really good. That was very interesting. I'd recommend observing meteors with a friend. The chat keeps you warm and you can have a count competition. I love to count. One Perseid. The best one I saw was in the Bufdi meteorite in 1969, bright enough to cast a shadow where I was in Surrey. That's so nice, isn't it? Brilliant talk, Mark. Really interesting. Very good. Okay, Eleni, we're coming over to you. She's just standing on her head doing yoga. Right, she's off her head now. Here she is. Hi, Eleni.
Hi, everyone. I'm not standing on my head tonight.
Do you remember, because viewers kind of drift in and out of this show, and we've always got new viewers joining us, which is wonderful. But a couple of months ago, you did a whole broadcast on your head, didn't you?
I did, and I was seeing stars afterwards. Like, I was very elated. I think being upside down for so long can make you high.
Oh, there you go. Well, it's cheaper than drugs, isn't it?
It was good. I'm not complaining. I literally felt like I was walking in a cloud when I got back up.
Really? Is that the longest head?
So weird.
Is that the longest headstand you've ever done?
Yeah, I've never done it. I mean, I've never done one talking at the same time and somehow managing to read the comments. I remember reading someone telling me namaste, and I was like, namaste to you too. And I was like upside down. I was surprised at myself.
Oh, well, I think, Eleni, in a couple of weeks, we're going to do another one. And you can do a special report on Antipodean, i.e. Southern Hemisphere skies. That'll tie in nicely.
It's not a bad idea.
Right, look, people are geeking out here. Ian's got an Astro Master. It's been cloudy since I got it. It has as well, Ian, hasn't it?
No,
Wow, look.
that is bad luck, isn't it?
I'm going to pretend I know what these things are. I've purchased an IMX 291 Starvis camera module to video the Perseids. Oh, I bet Mark will be jealous of that. I've booked 2 days off work to hopefully stay up, weather permitting. Now, that's dedication.
Commitment. Yeah, that's dedication.
That is really good. I hope you catch some beautiful meteors. And I'm assuming that you can join the UK Meteor Network now you've got that bit of kit. Sandra has got a Skywatcher 8-inch Dob. What have you got a telescope, Eleni?
Nope.
No. I've only got one recently.
I should get one. I'm like a pretend master's in astronomy student without a telescope. What am I even doing, right? I know.
Eleni, don't worry. For years, I called myself the astronomer without a telescope until somebody kindly, until I got one. So, Catherine has got, they're all squaring up to each other now, a Celestron Edge 800, a Skywatcher Esprit, and a William Optics Red Cat.
She's well stocked.
That is very well stocked. You could open a shop with that one, Catherine. Eleni, what's your report on this evening?
So, as per your special request, I focused the presentation on meteors and meteor showers, and I found some lovely archived pictures that I've included, which should, show how beautiful meteor showers are all around the world. I couldn't help myself, so my space news and weather and my astronomy picture of the day are still at the end of the presentation.
Lovely.
Yes, it's just, I hope people enjoy it. It's like quite a few facts, information on meteor showers. So hello, Cosmo.
He's in trouble after his behavior last week because he was he interrupted you.
Very naughty.
He's going to keep out of the way now. Okay, Eleni, we'll play your music, then we'll disappear off and get you on. Oh, there's your slideshow. So, right, I've got multiple buttons to press now in a difficult combination. So here it comes.
Don't explode yourself.
Here she is with the space news. It's Eleni. It's Eleni. Prepare to be astonished by Eleni. By Eleni. When she's not reading Tolkien or teaching a class, she's doing yoga and toning up a PowerPoint presentation for astronomer emulation.
It doesn't get old.
Oh, thank you. Right, I'm going to disappear and put your PowerPoint on and you're good to go. Let's do that.
Right.
And then I'm going to go away.
And I'm going to... There we go. Is it on a slideshow yet? Hopefully it is. Okay, so I thought I would do a little bit of a focus on meteors and meteor showers. And we're starting up with this beautiful picture, which is taken from Utah, and it is taken back in 2018. And it is the Perseids shower. Again, most of these pictures are the Perseid shower, except for the last one. And we've got an amazing shot of Orion surrounded by shooting stars, which is just incredible. And I thought I would accompany that with a small intro to what they are. Well, Mark already told you what they are, but I will reiterate and say that meteors are tiny bits of rock or ice that are basically ejected, removed from comets as the comets move around the sun. So as they get closer to the sun, there is bits of the comets that basically detach themselves from it, and then they stay behind. And a meteor shower happens when the Earth goes through that leftover debris. And we've got these beautiful night sky views. Now, let's move on to the next one, which I think is an epic picture. So here we have a 2011 shot from the ISS, which is a shooting star literally caught on camera from the International Space Station. And the picture is phenomenal. I don't know, it's incredible. You can see such a well-defined, a beautiful, well-defined line, arc almost. It's more like a straight line. I think it looks quite archy from the Earth, like if you are on Earth. But I thought that's a beautiful, beautiful picture. And I thought I would accompany that one with a little bit of background for the actual Perseids shower. So these particular pieces of space debris come from a particular comet called 109P/Swift-Tuttle, which I will refer to as Swift-Tuttle because I will forget the numerals. So apparently Swift-Tuttle takes 133 years to orbit the Sun once, and the last time it did so was in 1992. So all the showers that we had so far since 1992 have been literally left behind from that one pass. And then it's just amazing to think that it's just been one orbit since 1992, and we still have amazing showers. It apparently does not go away very quickly, the space debris, which is lovely for us because we get to have nice pictures. Of course, each time that the comet goes around the Sun, it replenishes the debris that it leaves behind, and there's more space rock chunk for us to look at in chilly August nights. So moving on to the next one is something that I always highlight when I hear people talking. So I want to specify the difference between a meteor and a meteorite. So a meteor is when we see something shooting through the atmosphere and it becomes a shooting star. It's not a star, it's just a piece of rock or ice. If it reaches the ground, then it's called a meteorite. And I don't know why, but I think for me, it's an important distinction to make. So a meteorite is the part of rock that actually makes it to the ground. And here we have a beautiful picture of astronomer Peter Jenniskens. I hope I said that right. Might not have. Who found these two pieces of an asteroid that broke upon impact, and it landed on northern Sudan in the Nubian desert. And these are the two pieces. And these, you would say, are meteorites, pieces of an asteroid or meteor. So I thought that's, for those of you who are pedantic, it's a good distinction to know and make. Next one, and I think that's an important one, the Perseids are not the only shower of the year. There are about 30 meteor showers, and they are all beautiful in their own right. And I know the Perseid is probably quite famous because of when it occurs. Everyone finds it a little bit easier to go out in August and stay outside late at night and watch the night sky. But the quadrantids, which fall in January, and the lyrids, which fall in April, are equally beautiful. I've seen both when I was a teen and I was living in Greece, and they're spectacular and definitely worth the cold. I think the January night sky is much more beautiful than the August sky, and I'm a little bit biased towards winter. It's my favorite season, so maybe I'm a bit biased about that shower as well. But I urge you, if you are in an area where there are good dark night skies, just give them a go. I think you will like them a lot. And this picture is actually taken back in 2017 in Cumbria, and it is actually from the Lyrid meteor shower, which, as you can see, can be quite spectacular. And that's my untypical bit on shooting stars. And I will move on to my space news and weather section, where good news for anyone and everyone who's chasing auroras. There is an aurora alert for tonight. It's the 6th, I think, yeah. Yep. And it's actually caused by something slightly different, and I thought that was pretty cool. So this one will be, well, hopefully it will be caused by something called a co-rotating interaction region, and that's a place where there is a transition between a solar wind that's moving slowly and a solar wind that's been moving faster. So in that point where that transition happens between the two zones, this interaction region is being created, and apparently it can spark high latitude auroras that can be quite spectacular. So yeah, keep an eye out. If you catch it, get a picture, share it with us. And finally, and I couldn't, because it's very strange, like the dimensions of the picture could not quite fit in the slide. That's why you've got the white sides left and right. We've got the astronomy picture of the day, which I have again rotated to fit it in the slide. And I think is one of the most beautiful I've shared with you so far. We can see at the top left those beautiful nebulae, and they're blue because they basically emit light from really, really hot stars. And we can also see a cloud of dust, which is, how can I describe that? A third down from the top. And you can see the red arches in there, which are indicative of star formation happening. And the actual star that this dust cloud is obscuring is a variable star, and a very energetic variable star, because these red arches are associated with very energetic star formation. And then at the bottom right, we see a very beautiful cluster of stars, a globular cluster, which is made up of very ancient stars that are all like compacted together in this beautiful globular cluster. So a lot of information in a single picture, as always. The stars that you see at the front, whenever you see those crosses or X's, they are foreground stars. They're in our own galaxy. They're still quite pretty, but not as important or spectacular. So there you have it. This is the astronomy picture of the day, and I hope you enjoyed tonight's special shooting star presentation.
Well, Cosmo was having a really good look at that picture then. Did you see him? He's got bad eyesight. He's going to have a really close look, Eleni.
As long as Cosmo enjoyed it, I'm happy.
He really enjoyed it, and as did everybody else, such as Steve Fractals and Jed.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Jed. How do I say that name properly? Jed? Jed.
It's short for Cheddar G's.
Jed. Really? Cheddar Z. You're making fun of me, aren't you? And I thought you were being serious.
Cheddar cheese, it's my favorite cheese.
Oh, come on. Oh, I thought it was some type of like Arabic culture name.
I don't know. What's he short for? Gerald, probably.
Probably. I've been played. Oh, well.
That's Cosmo told me to say it, Eleni. Blame him. Right. Okay.
Oh, well.
Oh, Ray. We love Ray. Hi, Ray. I've got
Hi,
to confess,
Ray.
Ray has sent me a lovely, really, 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 really long email that I have yet to correspond to, but only because I want to sit down and let the music in me come
Properly
out, Ray. So
absorb it.
yeah, it's like I've got a really long letter and I just want like an hour to sit down and reply to it properly when I'm not getting pestered and mithered by Cosmo.
This little sloth.
Eleni, have a beautiful weekend. We love you very much.
Thank you. You too. Thank you. Bye, guys.
Hi, Eleni. Bye. Great stuff. We love Eleni. Maybe she will do us a headstand presentation fairly soon. Okay, still to come, we have got Mary McIntyre, who's up next. She's got fantastic photographs, which I've already had a sneak preview of. We've got Sonia coming up, Sunshine Sonia, and we've got Cosmo. Where has he been this week? And look, I'm not drinking on the job. It's Heineken alcohol free. And when I was thirsty, I just needed something to wet my whistles. Thank you for all the lovely comments about your beautiful equipment. Bye, Eleni. Hi, Eleni. I am a novice, so the presentations like this are very interesting. They are. Everything that the SPA does is brilliant for a novice. I hope you remember, Jay. It's short for Jared, not Jeddah G's. Okay. Jeddah G sounds like some terrible West Country rapper. My name is Jeddah G's, and I am the bee's knees. He's the support act to the Wurzels, Jeddah Jesus. Jeez, it's Jeddah G's. Thank you. Okay, so we are now going to go over to Mary McIntyre in 3, 2, 1. Mary.
Hello again.
Hi, beautiful lady. I've missed you so much. Look
I've
what
missed
I found.
everybody.
Look what I found while I was mucking out the stables today.
Oh, wow.
You remember
Yes,
that?
amazing job. I do remember that.
Pride and joy. And the only reason they're not on the wall is because they do tend to shed a little bit of black dust and stuff. Let's take it out of its sheath. Let's take it out of its little sheath. This is what Mary learned me to draw at Solar Sphere. And I'd never sketched a crater in my life. And that is the result of one of Mary's tutorials, which you've got online, haven't you, Mary?
Yep, there are some short ones on my YouTube channel.
What's the last thing you drew, Mary?
A lunar crater, I think. I do a lot of lunar craters.
Yeah. Actually, I've never done one since then because I need one of your tutorials, Mary, because I got a bit bewildered and bought some chalks. They've never been out of the box, but I need to get back into it. That's my challenge. So, Mary, please tell us about why you love the Perseids and what you do with them.
I like to photograph them, and particularly because we now have so many cameras, even if just our own cameras detect things that are on my photographs, I will then find out the orbit of that thing and lots more information about it that I won't be able to get just from my one picture. So I like to observe with Mark. We tend to sit facing opposite directions, and we obviously have a competition who saw the most, but having that joint observation is really good because you can see double the amount of sky, and it's just a bit warmer. I mean, I will still sit out in 5 inches of snow to watch the Geminids, and I have done that, and it's freezing, but it's a bit more pleasant when it's just 14 degrees instead of -5. So I like it.
So you sit.
It goes on for a long time as well.
Oh, that's so nice. So you sit back to back like you've had a row?
No, we face each other, but we're pointing opposite ways in the sky, so we can see each other. Oh, I've lost your sound, Vicky.
I wallop the mute button with my elbow. That's really lovely. I would have never thought of doing it like that. Sit facing each other. That is such a nice. We've
only been together for 10 years. We're not sick of each other yet. So
Where did you meet? Where did you meet? You didn't meet. Where did you meet?
A NASA astronaut talk 10 years ago on Monday it was. So yeah, it was amazing.
Oh, happy anniversary. And how long have you been hitched for out of those 10 years?
Nearly 5.
Oh, that's so nice. It's nice to talk about the love. Makes me feel giddy inside. So, Mary, let's talk a little bit more about the artistic side of the Perseids, because you photograph them. What gear are you using to photograph them?
Can I just share my presentation? I will share my screen. Okay, just get past the tips, because it'd be easier if I just show you. So you don't need a telescope to photograph meteor showers. Actually, there's a lot of stuff that you don't need a telescope for. So if you're a beginner astronomer that doesn't have a telescope, don't worry. I'm going to briefly talk about the Milky Way at the end as well. You don't need a telescope for that either. So this is one of my Perseid meteor photographs. And first of all, if you have a fairly new mobile phone, there are a couple of apps that you can use to actually photograph the night sky. My phone is ancient, so I can't do it. But if yours is relatively new, if you have an Android phone, there's an app called Open Camera, and it will allow you to take a longer exposure with your camera, because an instant snapshot isn't normally enough in a dark sky. So if this will let you do an exposure of maybe 4 or 5 seconds, meteors generally only last a couple of seconds, and the brighter ones might be a bit longer. But if you can get your camera somewhere still, point it at the sky, use that app to take lots and lots of pictures, you might get lucky. If you've got an iPhone, then you can use the Nightcap app, and that app will let you do star trails, it'll let you do meteor showers. It's absolutely fantastic. So if all you have is a fairly new mobile phone, then you can have a go at this by using those apps. But if you are going to be using a standard camera, all the cameras that we have that are SLRs are budget ones. They're all 5 of the ones of these we have are 1100Ds. They're all about 10 years old now, and that's what I use to take photographs, and that's all you need. And actually the best results that I get are with the kit lens that everyone told me to throw away because it was rubbish. I don't agree with equipment snobbery at all. So if all you have is the kit lens and a budget SLR, that will do. It'll help if you've got a tripod, because you don't want the camera to move and you want to be able to fire it without touching it. So a £5 remote shutter cable, plug it in. When you lock that in position, if your camera settings are correct, it will just keep taking photographs all night long, which is fantastic. So I tend to set my ISO at around about 800 and do 10 to 15 second shots with my f-stop down to about f3.5, which is the lowest for that lens. I make sure the camera's on continuous, and then I lock that shutter cable in place and I just leave the camera alone. And as Mark said, you're better off not looking at the radiance. So for the Perseids, if you don't recognize the constellation of Perseus, if you look northeast at around midnight, you'll see the bright star Capella, and the radiant is just up from that. But you only need to know that in so much as where not to point your camera, because the same thing with visual, if you're pointing straight at the radiant, you're going to get shorter meteor trails because they're coming straight at you. So choose a direction of your sky that is the darkest. We've got Oxford to the south of us, so if I point south, I get not very many. But if you point sort of further round to wherever the darkest bit is, about 45 degrees up, so you get rid of some of that kind of haze at the bottom, and then just keep shooting. And if you are worried about dew forming on the lens, you can cut the end off an old sock and pop some reusable hand warmers in there, and that will keep the lens a bit warmer. And the sorts of pictures that I've got using those settings are like this one. And although this is a great picture, it doesn't really have anything for context. So sometimes think about having a bit of something in the foreground. I don't care. I love meteors, whether they've got a tree with them or not. But this picture, you can see the green that Mark was talking about. You can see a bit of the orange. And this really shows up on a photograph because the camera's more sensitive to colour. And this is another one that had a really bright bit at the end and streaked across through Ursa Minor. As great as that picture is, it's not as interesting as this one, which was taken at Solar Sphere, because we've got that very recognisable the plough, which most people recognise, and the tops of some trees, and suddenly it gives that a bit of context and a bit of scale. So all 3 of those meteors were taken with the same lens and the same settings, but this picture is better than the others because it's got something for context. The other thing as well, if you keep shooting on continuous, it's going to help you weed out the satellites, because meteors generally are only going to be in one frame because they're only very short events. If you take lots of pictures back to back, when you review them the next day, if you can see a trail before and after, and in like 3 or 4 shots, the chances are it's a satellite. So it's a good way of weeding out the stuff that isn't a meteor. But the other thing you can do if you keep shooting on continuous is you might pick up this, which is an ionization cloud left behind by a really bright Perseid meteor. It was very hazy that night, and you can see that I've been touching the camera and the stars have doubled because I was excited and wanted to have a look. But over the next 20 minutes, get that cloud that slowly dissipates. If you stop taking pictures to have a look, you might miss that. So honestly, the best advice is to choose the direction and just leave your camera going. Don't touch it again. Just keep shooting for as long as your battery will last, and that will give you the best chance of capturing those interesting things.
So Mary, sorry, that cloud was 20 minutes.
Over 20 minutes that dissipated, yeah. So
and
some
could you
of
see
them
that
are a bit shorter.
Could you see that with your naked eye?
The initial few seconds afterwards, I could. It kind of hung around, but then it got faint, which is why this is a cropped. The actual wider field meteor, it didn't show up very well, but I cropped the images for this video so that you could see it slowly dissipating, because that does hang around for quite a while afterwards. So you might just get lucky and get that. I've caught this 3 or 4 times now, not just with Perseids, but with the Geminids as well. I think I may have got one with the Quadrantids. It doesn't have to be the brightest meteor to leave that behind. So it's yeah, keep shooting, don't touch it, because you might just pick that up.
That is so cool. Ken is saying, you've already given me the inspiration to dig out my old Nikon. Thank you for coming to the SPA.
Shall I move on to talk briefly about the Milky Way, because I think that's something else that's worth observing at the moment.
Yes, so it's nice. I think we've got a couple of newbies on this evening, and at this time of year the Milky Way, if you get a chance to see it, is I nearly forgot, the moon this year isn't going to be washing out the Perseids very much. It's an old moon, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's going to be setting quite early, so yeah, we're going to have a hopefully a moonless clear night.
And that's so important, because when we were at Solar Sphere, the moon came up at about 1 a.m. and it knocked the countdown from like 50 an hour down to just a handful, and you pretty much have to go to bed. And it wasn't even it was only a small, I don't know, quarter full moon, and it was enough to end play.
Yeah, it's a huge amount of light pollution, which is why some astronomers hate the moon, but I just can't, because I love it too much. But yeah, it is a nuisance for meteor showers.
Sure. And what do you think about some sounds associated with meteors?
Yeah, if you get a bright fireball, you very often get a sonic boom associated with it. I personally haven't heard one, but there was a sonic boom heard a few days after the Winchcombe fireball, actually. It was all happening that week. There'd been several fireballs and one associated with the sonic boom. It happened during the day, so there were no photographs of that. I think there was one dash cam footage in the daytime from somebody's car, but that was all. And it's very difficult to do any trajectory analysis on a moving camera. So all the meteor cameras are calibrated regularly, so you know exactly where they're pointing and where the star field is, so you can do the science. But if you're driving in a car with a camera that's moving, it's a bit more difficult to do that. But yeah, you can, if you get a really bright one and it's fairly close to you, because often we're seeing meteors that are happening 100 miles north of you, but if you get one overhead that's quite bright, you may well hear something. So that would be awesome.
Actually, a question I've never thought of: how long are the trails on? You know, are they a few hundred miles long?
I'm not actually sure how long they are. I know comet tails, we look at a comet and they can be hundreds of thousands of kilometers long, depending on which comet it is. In terms of those trails, I don't actually know. I should, but I don't. Sorry. Somebody will probably be able to answer that in the comments.
Because I remember many years ago, one of the very first times I saw the International Space Station, and I was down south in Ibiza, and my dad saw it at the same time in Cheshire. And that's like, wow. So, I mean, I don't know how many miles that is. That'd be interesting to know how long those trails are. Maybe someone could find out.
I mean, they vary. So they vary a lot. You can just see that every night watching the meteor camera time lapse. Some of them can kind of fill the entire field of view, whereas others are really short. So it depends on the angle that they enter the atmosphere. It depends on the size, how long the trail lasts. So if it's bigger, it's going to burn up for longer. And they're not going in a straight line. They're curving quite often because they're falling through the atmosphere. So a lot of different factors will determine the exact size, but they do vary a lot.
Great, Mary. Okay, so the Milky Way is resplendent at this time of year. There's no moon. If you get a clear sky, the Milky Way is going to be fantastic. So let's talk more.
Yeah, we can actually see part of the Milky Way all year round. It's just that this bit over here towards the north isn't as exciting. The bit that we kind of talk about during Milky Way season, which we're bang in the middle of now, is this bit kind of over to the right of this picture here. And this is obviously looking towards Oxford, so there's a bit of light pollution, but this is the bit that's heading towards the galactic core. So it's got lots of colour and structure and some really interesting things in it. Before I show you some of the pictures, I thought it'd be interesting to talk about a couple of the mythologies, not the Greek, because I hate the Greek mythology for the Milky Way, but there are some really interesting stories from other parts of the world. A lot of people saw it as a river of stars, obviously, a scene where two parts of the sky have been sewn together, which I think is quite nice. The Polynesians thought it was a giant cloud-eating shark, which I would sign me up for one of those. That would be great. But I love this particular one. There's a couple that I want to talk about a little bit more detail, and this one is the Cherokee mythology. And basically the Cherokees were having their corn stolen, so they all stayed up at night to see who was stealing it, and it was a winged spirit dog was coming to steal their corn. So what they did, they all hid with their musical instruments, and when the spirit dog landed to steal their corn, they all suddenly started chanting and shouting and hitting their drums and scared the dog away, and the cornmeal sprinkled across the sky as it flew away, and that is what we see as the Milky Way. I think that's awesome. I'd quite like a winged spirit dog as well. I'd quite like that as well as a cloud-eating shark. The Estonian mythology, again, is one of those mythologies where you can see the frequency of certain events happening from a particular latitude, making it into the story. So Lindu was a beautiful lady, and she was basically besotted by the Northern Lights who came to visit her. And he said he would come back to marry her, but she just sat there in her wedding dress waiting and waiting, and he never came back again. So this is obviously one of those stories where an aurora display has come and obviously wowed people from in mid-latitude, and then there hasn't been another one again. And the story goes that her dad was so heartbroken seeing his daughter so sad that he placed her into the heavens, and the Milky Way is her wedding veil blowing across the sky as she waits for her husband that doesn't show up. So I think it's very interesting when you look at these mythological stories and the way they relate to what you can see and how often you can see it. I think that's really nice. But my favorite one,
I was going to say, Lindu is the space loving girl waiting for eternity for her astronomer
boyfriend who isn't going to come back.
Oh no.
Finally, I want to talk about the Shoshone mythology, because this is Wakin the bear, and Wakin had lost a fight, and as a result of that, he basically was banished to the land of the soul. So he starts climbing up a mountain, and as he gets up above the tree line, it started to snow, and his fur was covered in snow. And when he got a bit higher up, he realized that this next world wasn't going to be as bad as he thought it was. So he started to run to get there quicker, and he ran so fast that he carried on off the mountain and up into the sky. And as he flew across the sky, all of those snowflakes that were on his fur blew off and left a trail of snowflakes behind, and that is the Milky Way that we see. So I think that's beautiful. Every snowflake became a star. So I love how different these different stories are that relate to a band of stars, which is what you see. But the really interesting bit that kind of southern region that's very colourful and interesting. Now that we've got a bit more darkness, particularly for you guys further north, if you can just get away from light pollution, let your eyes get adapted, you will start to see this in that region of the sky. Now the colours show up better on camera. These pictures are again just taken with my Canon 1100D. I think I stacked 10 shots together, that's all, just 20-second shots, 10 of them stacked in sequator, and you can start to see a lot of structure in this region. And it's quite warm in color, it's really pretty. And if you've got something in the foreground like these things, it really makes it look very, very nice. And this is the bit that you just don't really see unless you're somewhere dark and you only see it for a short amount of the year. This bit up here you can see right the way through to autumn, but this bit very quickly kind of dips down once we get to the end of August. So now that we've got some actual dark sky, but if you look at it with any kind of foreground, it really makes it kind of stand out and makes the picture more interesting. But if you do have the ability to stitch some pictures together in a panoramic thing, earlier in the year you can get that lovely arch shape, but later in the year the Milky Way kind of runs directly overhead, so then you end up with these straight panoramic stitches. And actually visually the bit that is the brightest is the bit around Cygnus. That's the bit that really stands out to the naked eye. So when you're looking for this, don't expect to see it look like this, because naked eye it just won't. But if you let your eyes get adapted, you can see it spanning all the way north to south at this time of year, and it's so beautiful. You're going to need the moon to be out of the way though, so yeah, the moon is a nuisance for the Milky Way as well.
Mary, that was lovely. Thank you. That was one of the nicest presentations I've seen for ages. I love the Milky Way myth. So what a beautiful presentation, so many aspects to it. You really are just like, wow.
I just love astronomy, what can I say?
It's a very lovable subject, but wow, you really you flourish in every area of it.
I have sketched Perseids as well. If you want to draw them, if you don't have a camera, just have a sketch pad with a star map on it. As you see Perseids trail over, just draw them where you saw them. You can do that just with a pencil.
I've just got to say, shout out for the sketches. I think by some astronomers it's seen as a lesser hobby, but drawing all sorts of things, even if you're no good at art, it really helps with your spatial awareness of how something works and the structure of it. It's fundamental to astronomy, sketching is.
Definitely. You never learn anything quite as much as you do when you have to try and draw it.
And it makes things a lot easier to recognize. I remember I drew the Orion Nebula, and now I'm really good at recognizing it.
Every single crater that I've spent time on drawing, I can recognize under any moon phase now. I couldn't have done that before.
That's so good. Mary, thank you so much for taking time out of your evening to talk to our wonderful SPA members. See you soon, Mary.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Oh, wait. We've got comments. Wait a sec.
Oh, sorry, I couldn't see them because I was screen sharing.
No, I couldn't see them either. Thanks, Mary and Mark. Fantastic presentation. Marvelous, Mary. Thank you. I know it's a good dopamine rush reading these comments. You need a bit of dopamine in your life. Thank you, Mary. Very good. Thank you, Mary. Very interesting. Mary and Mark, the Torville and Dean of astronomy. Okay, yeah, well, dancing across the sky together, maybe. Mary's presentation
not
is
nice.
No. Mary's presentation has inspired me to have a stab at astrophotography with my 10-year-old DSLR. Brilliant.
Job done.
Brilliant, Mary and Mark. You see, they love you. They love you.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. See you later.
Have a lovely weekend. Bye.
Yeah. I hope you get some good Milky Way. Bye, Mary. Bye. There she is. There she goes. Excellent stuff. What's next? Cosmo! If you don't know who this little pestering grey mithering little mite is, he is called Cosmo. He lives on my telescope. Actually, he hasn't dangled off the telescope for a while now because he tends to sit near my laptop. That is who Cosmo is. And every week he goes around. He's smelling. That's because I microwaved him. He's actually a hand warmer. Every week he goes off on adventures. So he's going to read out. No, he does not read out. I read out clues. I get this wrong every week. I read out a couple of clues and you have to guess where he's been from the clues. But the key is, if you answer before I've read out all of the clues, Cosmo bites my face in the night. So don't do it. You've got to wait until I've done it. It's very, very simple. And to honor that pledge that you're going to take to me about not answering early, I've written you a song. He's been flying around the solar system, or maybe a bit further. But to the casual observer, he's a mithering, pestering sloth. Where have you been to this week, Cosmo? Cosmo, where have you been? 3 clues. Only answer after the clues. Cosmo over and out. Are you excited? This is a brain teaser, not the fastest finger first, although I do give kudos to whoever answers it quickest. Okay. I've gone a bit cryptic with the clues just because they're a bit too simple otherwise. So here we go. Tut, tut. No, I'm getting it wrong. Where's my script gone? Say it again. Tut, tut. He's moving fast. Oh, he's on his way out of the solar system. He won't be back until 2126. And what's that, Cosmo? You're in a 1 to 11 resonance orbit with Jupiter. So here we go. Tut, tut, tut. He's moving fast. Oh, he's on his way out of the solar system and he won't be back until 2126. And he's in a 1 to 11 resonance with Jupiter. Where's Cosmo been? Okay, Sonia's already got it right. Well done, Sonia. Right, let's see if anyone can get it. That's really good, Sonia. Top astronomer points to you. Cosmo loves you, baby. Let's have a look. Who's going to get it right? Tut, tut, he's moving fast. Oh, did Sonia get it right, actually? Let's have a look. Private chat. Oh, Sonia's got the full correct answer. Oh, here it comes. Jim says asteroid. Sandra Grace says comet tuttle. That's only half right, Sandra. Let's wait to see if we get a few more answers in. Comments still coming in for how good Mary's talk was there. Anyone else? Any more answers? Any more answers before we go? Well, Sunshine Sonia got it correct. First, let's put you on, Sonia. Well done. Sonia!
Hi.
It's our girl, Sonia. Sonia, where did Cosmo go?
He went on board Comets with Tuttle.
Well done. I thought that was really difficult. Now, Swift Turtle is important because it's what generates the Perseids, isn't it?
It is. Well, I literally thought, as soon as you said tut tut, I literally knew what you meant straight away. I thought that was like the biggest giveaway was tut tut.
Oh, that's so sweet. It's traditional now that at the end of every presentation, I throw Cosmo. So are you ready to say goodbye to Cosmo for the week until next week, Sonia? You ready?
Bye, Cosmo.
Bonk. He hit the floor and landed. No, he's gone into, I'm sorry, yeah, it's a new thing. I meant to launch him into orbit on his next mission. He's gone into space now. He had escape velocity. He is gone and he will bring a full trip report back next week. So look at him go.
He's gone back on there, Comets with Tuttle.
Yeah, he's gone. Those meteor detection cameras will be picking up Cosmo round about now. So how have you been, Sonia?
Very good. I'm ready for bed though. It's been like really, I don't know, just like a week at work. It's like, oh, I just want to go plonk on my bed now. And then we're up early as well. Off to see Mum tomorrow. So now the traffic's sort of getting back to normal. It'd be early rising to have the hour's drive to Mum's tomorrow morning.
Oh, how long does it take to get to your mummy's?
It depends on the traffic, especially when you're going through kind of Mottram, Woodhead Pass. So on a good day, it takes about just literally over an hour. On a bad day, the most it's taken is 3 hours with the traffic. So we try and beat the traffic.
Oh, well, I hope you have clear roads, as much as I hope you have clear skies, which we'll be coming on to in a moment. So what's your... you've sent me your presentation, haven't you? Let's see if I can do
I have indeed. So it's, again, meteor showers.
Meteor showers. I know all the meteors you can eat this week, isn't it?
It is.
But who doesn't like a shooting star? Do you know what? There can't be a single person on the planet. Like, I reckon that shooting stars, oh, maybe there might be some cultures where they're like a really bad omen. Yeah. What do you reckon? I was going to say maybe shooting stars are one of the most popular things on the planet.
They could have well been. I think my first ever shooting star was a Geminids, because I remember being really, really little, and I was outside and it was pitch black and it was early. I think my dad took me out when it's like really, really early, and I'm sure my first ever shooting star was a Geminids one.
Do you know, when I see one, I still wish for world peace. I'm such a benevolent type of person. Make a wish, world peace.
I saw a shooting star once, and my dad was like, "Make a wish." So I want a bike, and then I think it was like a couple of weeks after I got a new bike.
Hey! Right, I want a new webcam. You could like check off like on a really good night of shooting stars of Perseids, yeah, like Mark and Mary do. You could have like your wish list of all the things that you want that are in your Amazon basket.
I know, your bucket list. You could like just literally tick off your bucket list.
I want a new kitchen. I need a new clutch. We need a new alternator on the Saab. So like the next,
we might need a few fireballs for our wish list.
When I next see a Perseid, I'm going to go, new alternator for the Saab. I wish we had a new alternator. So should we start the presentation, Sonia?
We shall. On the first slide, there's a little on the right. You might not be able to see it at the bottom, and it's my very favourite saying from Disney. It goes, "Starlight, star bright, the first star I see tonight. I wish I may, I wish I might have the wish I wish tonight." And I love those words from a Disney song. I can't remember which Disney song it is, but I love those lyrics.
I think that it's a song from.
I'm thinking it's not. I'm not. I don't know if it. I'm not. I don't know if it would be Pinocchio. I'm pretty certain it's not Pinocchio.
No, maybe not. Maybe not.
Because that's the one where they do "Wish Upon a Star."
Yes, it was. It was, wasn't it? We'll not give a rendition of that. Maybe Cosmo might sing it next week. So good work, Sonia. Good work.
I know my Disney movies.
Do you? What's your favourite?
Disney Pixar's got to be Toy Story. That was the first ever Pixar movie I saw. But I think I love Robin Hood, the original ever Robin Hoods,
with the weirdly anthropomorphic, fanciable, sexy foxes.
Yes, the Sword and the Stone, particularly because of the owl that's in there. I love the Sword and the Stone because of the owl.
We played that VHS to death. Right, anyway, we're going well off topic, but it's nice just to have a chat. We don't see each other, do we, Sonia? So it's nice to talk.
We don't. So we shall whiz off and we shall go into those meteor showers. I shall keep it short and sweet tonight.
There we go.
So, as Eleni said, with what meteorites are, and that's, I shall start from the very beginning. So as we know, Earth has continuous rain of interplanetary objects, known mostly as meteoroids, and these can range in size from microscopic grains of sand to huge look-alike boulders, and when they enter the Earth's atmosphere, they cause a visible streak of light known as a shooting star, or known as meteors. And then if any of those fall to Earth, they then come meteorites. So you get meteorites that end up in space, they hit the Earth's atmosphere, they are meteors, and then they hit the ground, they are then meteorites. But as mostly when you get moonless nights, such as the Perseids, it will be a waning gibbous. So it will be less than half. So the moon is in our favour. Next week. No, was it a waxing crescent? I do apologise. It's a waxing crescent next week. So yes, less than half of the moon, and just bigger than a thin crescent, but it will be not a very bright moon next week. We can expect to see around 4 to 5 meteors per hour. However, those are just like the sporadic meteors you may see on an odd night. But when it comes to meteor showers, such as the Perseids, we can expect to see something a lot more spectacular than that. So when a comet comes out of the deep freeze of space, such as comets with Tuffle, it enters the inner solar system. It is then warmed by the sun, and then parts of its icy crust turns to vapor, which solar radiation then blows off the comet's surface, creating a tail of ice, dust, and grit. And the comet's tail always faces away from the sun as well. And then the Earth, we go around and we sweep through the debris and the particles of comets with Tuttle, and then the particles burn up into the atmosphere, creating a meteor shower of shooting stars. However, a meteor shower's activity is known as the ZHR. This is known as the zenith hourly rate, and this is the number of the meteors that we can expect to see per hour, especially in very dark locations. So you may see newspapers, news saying we can expect to see 200 an hour, 100 an hour, and so on. However, these are rarely met, depending on the conditions. So don't be surprised if you do see fewer meteors than that when we do have the Perseids next week. And then we go on to the did you know bit. I always put a little did you know in this. So one of the biggest meteor storms on record, it occurred on November 17th in 1833, when the Leonid meteor shower put on the best performance, and the estimated hourly rate of them was ranging from 50,000 to 200,000 meteors an hour.
Wow.
That is what you call a meteor storm. And I was just Googling when Mary was on as well, the ionization. So ionization trails, they can last up to 45 minutes as well. So they can range from 20 seconds up to 45 minutes. But I still can't see how long a meteor is. I'm Googling and I can't find a meteor trail of how long that is. So I'm going to have to Google dig a bit bigger into that.
Wow, Sonia. Well, thank you. There was lots that I didn't know there. As per usual, your presentations are like, they're a catch-all from basics, brand new astronomers who know nothing, right up to the did you know, which I reckon lots of popular astronomers don't know your did you knows. Sonia, you've definitely missed your calling as a teacher. I'm trying to urge you to become some kind of outreach hero.
I know you won't hear me next week. I'll be off. I'll be so quick next week because I'll just want to set up my cameras and set up my phone. I'm going to try something new that I've not done before on my mobile phone. I'm keeping it a secret just to see if it works or not.
Right. Okay. Well, now on to slightly more. Well, actually, Sonia, I think whatever you say next is going to be an absolute surprise for me because I've got no idea what the weather is doing. So if you're new to the show, Sonia is our telescope weather forecaster. She independently compiles the. Oh, look at that! That's a beautiful.
There we go. My plug the mug. I'm not doing it for a while, but I'm going to plug the mug a bit tonight.
That's a really nice one. It's better than mine. I want one.
I do like that one. That was my favourite one, so I thought I'll have to get that one.
Available in the SPA gift shop at the end of the ride.
It's only got Coke Zero in it, nothing exciting, but
when you disembark from the ride at the end of the show, you've got to walk through the SPA gift shop where we've got all the SPA merch for you. So Sonia is our weather forecaster. So where's your little song, Sonia? Here we go. Will it be cloudy? Will it be sunshine? Will there be hurricanes? Sonia's been checking out the jet stream and the humidity. Is it safe to get my telescope out or will it blow over and bend? Well, Sonia's here with all the answers, my starry-eyed astronomer friend. Yo, Sonia! No idea. Right, I've got no idea what the weather forecast is, and I'm breaking out into
not looking too bad. Once we get past Wednesday, which is, I know it's like miles away though for next week, so it all could change. But there is a bit of an inkling of the change on the way. So we'll start by the weekend. It's going to be, we've got this low pressure that's going over at the moment. It's causing some high winds if you're in the low pressure system itself, which is mostly the north of England, Scotland and some Ireland at the moment, but there is going to be very heavy sporadic showers tomorrow, which could give a lot of rain and thunderstorms, which it's going to be most of tomorrow, to be honest. So I wouldn't bother with tomorrow unless you want a wet telescope.
Sonia, I'm sorry, just to preempt you, I'm just scrolling across the bottom of my BBC weather app here. There's a lot of rain coming. What is happening?
There is a lot of rain tomorrow. The jet stream's not helpful as well, because it's kind of like the south of us, and then it gets directly over us as well. So the jet stream's not looking in our favour at the moment. And then the surface pressure charts, it's got a low directly above us. Those isobars are a bit tight as well. And then that low will disappear by at least Monday, end of Monday. And then we go on to Sunday. It's probably going to be a bit more of tomorrow in the way of it's not going to be as much rain, but it's going to be a lot more cloud about. We get on to Monday. Monday is not looking too bad. Monday's looking, we've got the odd shower in the northwest, Ireland, East Anglia, Wales, but with 1 o'clock comes, we are looking at particularly good clear skies. You may get some low cloud and some rain over the Lake District, but the rest of Ireland, East Scotland, pretty much looking clear. It will be a bit of rain maybe in the southeast, but Tuesday's looking good. We go into Wednesday. It is a bit of a change Wednesday, but we get to Thursday. It's going to rain during the afternoon, but it's looking to fizzle out, and then looking clear skies mostly everywhere at the moment on Thursday night.
Oh, come on, Popular Australia. Is that the one?
It is, yes. I'm really excited because I don't set up outside. I will be setting up the back window upstairs, open the window wide open and setting my camera up and setting my phone up and just looking, because it goes, because Cassiopeia is up there, because that's how I usually go by the Perseids, is looking for Cassiopeia, which will be over there, and then I will just have the whole of the north-ish sky, so my camera's been set up just looking north, because the sun sets there, the moon rises over there, and then the whole, so I'm really hoping. I will be extremely tired when I go to work Friday morning, but at least it's Friday.
Yeah, you could slash it on a Friday.
I know it is clear at the moment, so I may set up just for a couple of hours to see if I can spot 1 or 2 of them. I don't tend to use the DSLR as much now. I tend to just use the mobile phone. If you've noticed on BBC Northwest, I've had quite a few of these on at the moment. I had one on last Friday, so it might give you a clue what they showed of what I did last Friday, of what I'm going to try and do with the meteors.
Okay. Right, you're not showing anything now then?
No. It's all
okay,
in,
right.
it all depends if it works or not. So if you're in the Northwest, I seem to have a Friday slot, because Emmanuel, she showed a photo on there this evening as well. And I had last Friday and I had 2 weeks before on Friday, so I don't know, I just seem to get like the Friday slot on Northwest.
That must be such a nice little kick for you. Sonia, it has been a delight. Okay, we're going to start wrapping the show up now. I've had a lovely evening because I've been in a comfortable new glass chair rather than on a stool. I've been much more relaxed. I've kind of looked a lot more, is laconic the right word? Feel laconic. I'm sure. What's dictionary definition of laconic? Deaf. If you type deaf, DEF, into the after any word, it just takes you straight to the dictionary. Of a person it's someone using very few words. I am definitely not laconic.
I've just had a look at that as well.
That's not the one. Louche. What does that mean? Let's see. I'm going to get me right word now. I feel like a loose definition. Disreputable or sordid in a rakish or appealing way. That's me. I just feel like slouchy on the chair. I've got my dictionary definitions on. Sonia, thank you. Eleni, thank you. Mary, Mark, thank you. Thank you to all the popular astronomers who have helped us out tonight. You've been a great crew in the chat room. Is it John who's our new viewer? Bob says thank you for the meteor facts.
You're
Sonia,
very
great.
welcome. Hopefully next Thursday. Are we on next Thursday?
I might not be. Yeah. It depends, really. We've got a pub quiz on a Thursday night now. It's restarted, and it was my most beloved night of the week because it's just so much fun, and I'm out together in a crowd of people, and my social contact is very, very, very important. So we'll see. We'll consult.
Maybe we'll see about. We'll have a chat about Wednesday, because then I can do a very detailed forecast.
Oh, can you? Why is that?
Because it's the day before, it'd be a lot more. It'd be a lot more of how it will be. Whereas now we can see Thursday's looking dry and clear. However, it's like 5 or 6, nearly a week in advance, which you can't usually tell what the weather's going to be after 3 or 4 days. So it'd be more precise next week, shall we say, of what the weather will be.
Oh, here's a lovely comment here. John, this is the reason we do it. I've learned so much tonight. Thank you so much to everyone from a newbie. Can't wait for next week. So that's lovely. Okay. Jay, thank you. Oh, I've just remembered I'm going to go and do something quite weird and grim after this. Because we live on a holiday park, we have, I don't know whether it's not LPG, but it's gas canisters that we have here. The gas is on a tariff because we're out in the middle of nowhere, and it means that hot water is really, really expensive here. So I'm about to go and use secondhand bath water now in a big bath that's already been ran in.
I thought you was going to say something else there.
No, so I would stay on for another 5 minutes, but there's a hot bath there that's been vacant for the past 20 minutes, and I'm going to go and get that hot water.
And I'm going to try and get meteor.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. Right, I'm going to hit the off button now, Sonia. It's been so lovely seeing you. Thank you, everybody. We all love.
Bye, everybody.
See you soon. Good night. Bye. I'm going for a bath in murky bath water, but at least it's hot. See, it's been cold tonight, hasn't it?
It is nippy. It is nippy, but they do say, well, they're saying a heat wave again, middle of August. It did happen with the last one, so you never know. But I shall be keeping my eye on it.
You're all wonderful. See you soon. Bye.
Bye.